Hi, my name is Fauz and welcome to another episode of Gear Me Out. This week we connect with a good homie of mine who is part of a movement of DJs who basically take the turntable and use it as an instrument. What I use to mix, scratch, beat juggle, they use it as a guitar, a piano, as a drum machine. With advances of modern day tech, you're able to interface a very analog setup with a very digital setup, and the implications of this are limitless. Now, the homie I'm about to show you has a very beautiful setup, something that I once aspired to have, I won't lie, and probably got like a fraction off, but I didn't dive into it, and it's dope to see someone who literally focused on it and took a deep dive into setting up this beautiful direction of DJing and this beautiful DJing subculture that has always been there, and I really hope it becomes as mainstream as it deserves to be. With that said, let's let the good homie Kenichi walk you through.
Welcome to BET headquarters. I'm their believer. It's 2 p.m., so it's time for a morning staff meeting.
Yo, welcome to the studio. That's your boy DJ Kenichi. Friends call me AVON Klassen, and I'm very excited to share this information on my homie Fauz the One's channel, and this is Get Out. This is where it all started. Bam! This is the DM2050. This was my first mixer board. My first one. As you can see, many fun times. Many. It looks like those mixers in those clubs where you like, yo, you want to phone the hotline, mixer abuse, gay abuse. But yeah, this one, I learned how to mix on, I learned how to juggle, I learned how to scratch. At the time, before like Inner Fader and all of those things came out, this was the best crossfader at the time that money could buy, and it had a lifespan of 30 days. Yes. When I started, I was lucky enough to get myself the classic SL1200. Right, I've been using that for many moons, and from that I moved onto the setup that you do see in front of you right now. And I'm using currently the Vestax PDX 2000. It is the older model, it's a legacy model, that's what I like to call it. You get the Mark II version of this, and you get the 3000 version. So why I like this turntable, it has a very nice pitch range. It has plus 50 and negative 50 pitch range with the ultra pitch. Then you also have a plus 10 and negative 10 fine tune as well. So the cool thing about this is you can reach octaves. So it was designed with music intended. So You can, if you have particular bass lines, you can reach particular notes and really create cool sample music with it. When I started off, we all started right at the bottom. We had the new mark, but right now I'm using the Rain TTM56. It's also a legacy mixer. The cool thing about this, I really love the quality of the faders. Rain really back in the day before they moved on to the new, there's nothing wrong with the not the Magville, the Rain faders at the moment. I think they're really good, but this is like an old school Mercedes-Benz, man. They were built like tanks, man, and it has a very, very nice sound. So I'm using this with my Vestax mixer, and when it comes to doing loops, we've got the RC20XL Boss loop station. Again, legacy. It has only 11 channels on here, and it records up to 30 minutes, I believe, which is more than enough when it comes to layering loops, when it comes to audio, because you're only capturing seconds, so that's really more than enough. The other nice thing about this, it does have a quantize function. It has a guide function, built-in metronomes. You have tap tempo, you have reverse, you can write auto start, and it has different modes as well. So it's not really a bad looper because you can plug an instrument, a mic, and you have two outs as well. You have aux in as well, and you have one output, and it has also space for other loop devices as well. So I use that, and I'll show you what I've done with this as well a little bit later. Okay, so the positive thing of the loop station, right, versus the APC40 or with Ableton is making music, right, or treating the loop station as your DAW, right? So that is my Ableton. So big up to Cut and Paste Records, big up to Sai, big up to Darcy, big up to Redmus, big up to the whole Scratch community out in the UK, doing the things and providing like these particular records like I have here. I've got Improvise Wisely, and I've got Scratch Fossils, just as two examples over here. And so the cool thing about these records, as you can see, if I turn Improvise around, over here you have your skipless samples, you have your bass lines, you have your drum kits, you have a lot of sounds that this has been designed to make music. So the cool thing is, this is my sample packs. So for instance, you can go onto Native Instrument and buy the LA Sunset Lo-Fi pack, which is gonna give you that fly low type of sound. These are my sample packs that I got from these guys over here. Right, there are more somewhere over here. Here's another one. I've made a couple of tunes with this one. This is Breaktionary from DJ Qbert as well. There's a lot of fat funk and drums on here that I'll play later on as well. So that's the cool thing about the loop station. It becomes my Ableton. So I'll drop like a drum, count it in 4 times. Once that's counted, once it's in time, and then I can start layering bass lines, drum fills and stuff like that, and then I build my track like that. So that is a nice way to, like, basically how Ed Sheeran performs. It's the same type of concept by layering a couple of things and using jumping in and out of different loops to create a musical experience. About a few years back, 5-6 years back, the portablist community dropped out a product which really helps people get into scratching at a very inexpensive product, So this is the new Mark PTO1 Scratch turntable. It's a portable turntable. It's battery powered. It's fully moddable. You can put different type of mods on here. As you can see, I've got the Jesse Dean fader over there. I've got the Jesse Dean tone arm over there with the M447 Shure needle as well. We've got also Stokio and turntable chaining wax. They dropped this platter over there, slip mat, and then the platter is also solid state. So when you get it base, it does feel like a toy, but you can mod it to make it feel closer to the actual real turntable as well. And as you can see, it's all battery powered. So I use these D-size batteries. If I put it out, you just get yourself a pair of rechargeables, and it has a built-in speaker, or you can connect it to any other type of portable speaker that you have in your arsenal. And you can, I've trained on this for a very long time before I got this equipment right now. So yes, there are ways and means to get into making music or treating the music as a turntable. Treating the turntable as a musical instrument. You're not like selling your arm or your leg, and it's a nice way to get into it. So yeah, that's all the gear that I have currently at the moment, more on the analog side, which led me up to the direction that I'm going into now. How the direction I'm going into with my setup, where I'm adding digital and analog, comes with this little piece of device over here. So basically, I've created loops with in Ableton, and I've created samples that tell stories with Ableton. So depending on the vibe that I would like to create in my performance, whether it's going to be a showcase or whether it's going to be an exhibition or a workshop or whatever the case may be, this device gives me a more practical manner to control the performance, with me not being too worried about, okay, cool, I have to champ on the pedal with my foot, I have to push this button because I only have 2 legs and I only have 2 hands. So this gives me a more confident way for me to control the sound, because it is a preset up in terms of, okay, cool, I like this sample maybe from Stranger Things as an example, and then from there I can make my own beat. I can use Fauz's beat, I can use another person's beat, I can even take a little loop or a sample from another track from a J. Cole track, whatever the case may be. With the DAW, creativity is 100% limitless, right? So that is the nice thing in terms of creating my clips, in terms of my session overview. And it is triggered in a way where whatever button I push will launch the sequence or will launch the actual clip, playing the sound or playing the actual sample. The nice thing about the APC40 is that we have these macro knobs over here, which I turn, and you can see here with the lights, it gives a clear indication of like the percentages on each particular track. And we have 8 of these, and it can be comboed as well, because we have on top, which is the track control, and then we have the device control as well. It also has sends, 3 sends, you have overdub, you have recording functions, you have recording, you can record your arms, you have up to 8 tracks. So basically it gives a nice, the way that I DJ and the direction that I want to go into in terms of a musical experience and performance, because I do want to use lights and videos in the long run as well within the studio or within a concert like realm or area. Then I can also dedicate certain track numbers to those particular light colors, maybe video samples, if I want to do a horror movie skit or whatever the case may be. In terms of upgrading, I would really love to get the PDX 3000. The cool thing about the PDX 3000, it has a MIDI in which you can then connect something which is called I do believe that's the button box, which allows you, once you push with the right software, once you push the buttons, you can jump up an octave or semitone or whatever the case may be. It works well with the pitch device. The reason why I want the 3000 and well, it has a better motor and also a better upgraded ultra pitch section. It's a couple of functions. It's also black and red, so it looks hella sexy. I would love to get the fretless fader. Fretless fader basically looks like a fader on chain tracks, and it moves over a short space. And also again, in that space, depending how you set your fader, you can set it to play scales, jump up octaves and everything. So those are two extremely big things that I would like. In terms of actual mixer and turntables, the S5 just came out. It really caught my attention. For bedroom setup, I think it's really nice. I think that that C port connection, I just think that is a game changer and such brilliance. Because as you can see, like right now with setup, when we put everything together, we are always looking for plugs. And I mean, like with the C port, we connect it straight into the laptop, the computer, or a power bank if it has, so I really like that function. So I think that would be nice. I think for what I do, I need something compact, something functional, and as long as the sound quality is good, if I can handle that, then I'll definitely invest in that. And then the last thing, in terms of portabilism, there are two types of turntables that I'm on the look for. The one is the Oni, which is that turntable is belt driven. The Oni is direct driven. It has ultra pitch as well, because ultra pitch it's my style. I prefer cutting with that. And then there is something called the SC500 and the SC1000, which is a small little device. It's no bigger than a little notebook, right? It has an innovator on it, and it has this very interesting platter that has this spring type of pull to it. But the dope thing about it, it has USBs in, so you can take a small little USB or you can take a small little SD card. I'm not too sure if it takes SD card, but you load all your samples and your beats in that little device, and there you go. Anybody that is interested in turntablism, scratch music, this particular side of DJing, I would say educate yourself by supporting the local and the international guys. You don't want to jump into this and then 6 months down the line give up, man. You know what I mean? Because gear's expensive, and also have the passion and the discipline and the drive to love music first. The reason why I'm saying it took me a long time to get clean and strive to sound musical in terms of flexing, for lack of a better word, because in this there's nowhere to hide here. If you offbeat, you're gonna sound poor, man. And this is like food. I always explain it with food. If you cook a steak and you cook it wrong, it's gonna expose you, man. It's gonna expose your skill level. Like you overcook the steak or the chicken is raw. You know what I mean? So if you do that, you're gonna be discouraged, man. So reach out to people like myself, Swoosh, Hammer, Fauz, all the other guys as well that also, are doing cuts in the DJ sets, man, and ask questions, ask them where to start, speak about the turntable, hang around, not only at the gigs where they are doing it, but speak to them where, if they have a studio and they say look here, you can come through, have a look at it, or book a session, go and support that person in the studio and actually sit in the studio and figure out what is going on and what you want to do. Because I've seen a lot of guys that were like, oh, I want to scratch. And then at the end of the day, they give up, which is kind of sad because number one, we need more people getting involved to build a community and a culture. I think it's a nice way to express and spice your sets up, and also for people to consume music. And also, when I was on my ace and I was trying to scratch, it was a tough journey for me. But I went out and I did my thing, and people saw that, oh, okay, he's improving, man. So let me go have a conversation with him. And they invited me to their studio, and that's where I've learned all my shit. Like, I've learned so much in the studio. So again, like, I was lucky that I really wanted this, but like, I forked out at the time when I was dead broke, bro. Like, 10,000, 12,000 rand, money I didn't have, but like, I really wanted to do it. And then I realized like, oh shit, it's the wrong mixer. Oh shit, it's the wrong turntable, it's the wrong needles. I broke so many needles just because I didn't know, you know what I mean? So do your research, hang out with the OGs, respect them, ask questions, don't try and be clever. Like, it never worked in a studio for me. I've got many a humble pie, you know, thinking that when I was a kid, thinking that I was dope, and then, you know, pie was served on specialty that day. And then like, you learn more, and once you learn and you understand patterns and things, and then you start progressing. But that's what I would do, because once you start doing that, the elder generation will look at you and be like, you know what, he's putting in the effort. Let me show him a couple of things. What's a baby scratch? What is this? What is that? But yeah, support us. Check us out on our YouTube channels. Check the International Cats on the YouTube channels. I mean, we're living in an internet world right now where information's at our fingertips. So do that. It helps. You might feel like it doesn't help, but it really does help. And reach out, man. Like, we're more than willing and excited to show people that are interested in what we're doing. Once again, this is DJ Kenichi chilling out here in the Planet Nova studios. Thank you so much for this opportunity. Big shout out to Fauz and all the great work he's doing. Don't forget to follow me on my social media handles. It will be linked in the description and in the video. I'm on Facebook, I'm on IG, I'm on YouTube, I'm on Twitter. And yeah, final words. Push for, you know, don't try, like, do better. Don't be perfect. You know, that's me as an artist and a creative, you know, especially for South Africans, we are so dope. We are so dope, but we are pushing for perfection. People need to see our story. People need to see what we're about. The world is waiting for us, man. But we need to be ourselves and know, like, you know, if this is my best today, then do that, man. Push that, and then just do better. Don't push for perfect, because from my experience, that perfect shit, you don't get out. You're not pushing out your content because you're trying to be perfect, and it's never gonna be perfect. So that's just my 2 cents for like everybody, because I'm chilling with homies out in Japan, ATL, UK, Germany, and most of the cats that I do hang out with, we all the same. Even those cats, they're not pushing. Some of them are pushing like really dope shit, but they do in their head in terms of like, that's not perfect, it's not dope. No, you dope. You dope. If you feel dope and that's your best, it's fine. It's a skill. We can always practice on the skill and get better. Push it out. You gotta get out, guys. And Fauz, once again, thank you, bro. Peace out.